Welcome to the Tao of Aromatica. I'm here with Karen Kane of Aromatica Fine Teas, located here on Young Road in Chilliwack. Karen, welcome to the show.
Barris, thanks for coming out. Welcome to Aromatica.
Karen, I love your store. Been here several times, and but I'm still new to Chilliwack, so I don't know much about the history behind Aromatica Fine Teas. What got you started doing tea in Chilliwack?
We moved to Chilliwack in 2002, and we saw that there wasn't a lot of options with tea, saw the community was growing, and so it was a logical thing for us to do, wanted to be part of this growing community, and so let's combine our love for tea with love for Chilliwack.
Well, that totally makes sense. So I'm going to get into the brass tacks here. Bag versus loose leaf. What is the difference? Why should I care?
We used to have a sign in the store that said, ditch the old bag.
Ooh, okay, I'm glad you said that.
I can say that.
So maybe can you kind of now step up and explain yourself?
Sure. Aromatica is a loose leaf tea store, and we just find that the best quality and the best flavor comes from loose leaf tea. Bags, some people use them for convenience, but putting loose leaf tea in a bag is a better way to go.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Now, looking around your store, I see that there's lots of different types of teas. How many different types are there? And do you carry them all?
No. We only have about 300 out of thousands.
Wow, 300 is a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And thousands of tea, where do they all come from?
Tea's grown in China, Japan, India, Kenya, Argentina. Whoever thinks of tea from Argentina, that's where the grocery store tea comes from.
Yeah, okay. And I know Ceylon or Sri Lanka is another.
Ceylon is a great, thank you for that. So Ceylon tea everybody has heard about, but it actually is grown in a country that is now known as Sri Lanka because there was a name change. And it is the only place in the world where the tea is so important to the economy that the government has mandated that it all be hand plucked rather than machine harvested.
Oh, very interesting. And now I understand black tea. I know that there's green tea, but I've recently heard of something called white tea. What's that all about?
So, good question. This is a tea plant. It's been growing in my garden. It's been pruned recently. That's what they do with tea plants. If this was growing at a plantation, it would be sort of chest high. And they cut it back all the time. So green tea, white tea, oolong tea, black tea all come from this plant. This is called Camellia sinensis. There's a larger leaf version called Camellia asamicus. When you look at white tea, it will be the immature, small leaves, and green tea is the next level up. Oolong and black are typically from the larger, more mature leaves.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. So, and I've heard of blossoming tea. Is that something completely different, or what's that all about?
Well, we have a blossom on the tea plant here.
Okay, right.
But blossoming tea, we're set up for that. Did you have a script?
Oh,
wow.
My gosh. How did that happen? That's so cool.
So, oftentimes with blossoming tea, you'll see it on YouTube that they say, yeah, throw the tea ball in the pot and throw some water on top of it. That's really bad to do because these are very fragile pieces. So this is a flower that has been hand sewn inside of tea leaves. You put it
hand sewn?
Hand sewn. Not a job I want to do. So you put it into the water and it's going to take its time. And in a couple of minutes, we'll be able to enjoy the flavor of a fine green tea and enjoy the sight of a beautiful blossom.
Wonderful, wonderful. Karen, that tea, it's a beautiful tea. It's a little slow for my I don't know if I got the patience to wait for, how is it?
You could be a coffee drinker, maybe.
Well, a little bit of coffee. I like my coffee. But it's a beautiful thing, and certainly for like a special occasion, it'd be, wonderful. Are there any other benefits than the beauty of the tea? Are there health benefits?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. So water is the most consumed beverage on the planet. Tea is second place.
Wow.
So those coffee drinkers out there, you're just not in the top two. Tea's going to bring you calming benefits. There's a whole culture around tea. As well as that, it's pretty well known that, especially among the Tisanes, there are lots and lots of health benefits. For centuries, people have been drinking peppermint tea to soothe their tummies, chamomile to go to sleep, hibiscus to lower their blood pressure. Add that to the antioxidants and the benefits that are being studied through medicine now about Camellia Samicus and Camellia sinensis. You have a whole wide range of health benefits that come with tea.
Well, it sounds like you need an awful lot of different teas for different benefits. What I'm wondering is, like, you have a beautiful store that can hold a lot of tea. What about for me at home? Like, where do I store it? How do I store it? How long can I store tea before it goes off or bad or whatever?
Good question. People often aren't aware that because tea absorbs flavors and smells and what have you, that they need to store it in canisters or bags that will protect it from light, air, heat, and smells. So the worst thing you could do would be to put it in a clear glass jar in the window and have an open jar of curry next to it, kind of thing. Your tea flavor will not hold.
Yeah, it'll taste like curry.
It will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Now, Karen, a lot of our viewers are watching this and being exposed to this wonderful world of teas for the first time, and maybe they buy their tea. They like tea. They buy their tea at supermarkets. Is there anything inherently wrong with doing that? Is there a downside to that?
No, not at all. People need to buy what they like and what they enjoy. We simply offer the best. And so we're looking at fresh tea. Typically in a supermarket, it's been 18 months between production and hitting the shelves. Our teas are a lot less time than that. They're fresher, they're more flavorful because of the large leaf, as we talked about. And we're offering a quality that you won't find elsewhere.
Well, I mean, you've had this entire history with tea now, going back many years. Do you have any favorites? Anything that you could recommend?
Sure. I love jasmine tea. My day starts every day with a tea called Chai A, which is from India. It's an Assam black with cinnamon and orange, and that's how the day gets started in my cup.
Oh, very cool. So, Karen, thank you so much for taking us on this little walkthrough about tea. And I know with the series, the Tao of Aromatica, we're going to be doing some exciting other things in future episodes. Do you want to talk a little bit about what those future episodes will look like?
Sure. Thanks for coming today. It's been great to talk about how the tea plant works, what tea's about. Of course, if you start with great tea, the next thing you're going to need to know is how to make it. So we're going to do an episode on the equipment and infusions for tea, and we'll follow that with local small batch blending, because we actually blend for restaurants and stores, and we'd also like to show you how to cook with tea.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karen, and thank you to our viewers. Until next time. Cheers.
Sure.